into the game, but to overcome another defeat, which would have been 9 on the bounce. 9 on the bounce for Arsenal. And look, there's a long way to go this season. Nobody, of course, is going to be writing Manchester City off. Nobody's going to be talking about, oh, their season's over, it's doom and gloom. They're still the favourites to win the Premier League season. But I think there is a psychological edge to Arsenal coming back, showing the determination, showing the fight, showing the mindset to get back into the game. And you saw, listen, fans will play it down now. This is a nothing game, just like people did when Man United won the Carabao Cup. But it isn't. It's significant. It isn't the be-all and end-all. This doesn't mean Arsenal are going to be Premier League champions. This doesn't mean City are going to win nothing this year. But psychologically, it's important. 8 defeats on the bounce up until this game. And I thought, actually, for large parts, Arsenal, I wouldn't say with the better side. I think it was very, very even indeed. First 20 minutes of the first half was all Man City. Then Arsenal took over. And Kai Havertz looked as though he may have gone and cost Arsenal the game, because he missed one good opportunity and then one absolute sitter. You don't get very many clear-cut chances against Manchester City. And then a really good piece of play from City in the second half. Two unlucky interceptions on the bounce. Declan Rice, first of all, then Kieran Tierney. Ball falls to KDB, who plays it through to young Palmer, who scores an absolute weldy of a goal, bends it into that top corner. And then City just looked like they're going to see the game out. And then a new element of football came into play today. Time added on like we've never seen before in the Premier League. And it's correct. For years, I've bemoaned this. Just go and find my brother on socials and ask him. You are meant to get 30 seconds of time added on for every substitution made and a minute of time added on for every goal. That doesn't include any time wasting or injuries or corners, free kick stoppages. So when teams are now making 5 subs each, you've got to add 5 minutes onto a game before you even add an injury. You had a goal or more, you're at 6 or 7 minutes before someone's even been injured. So it's right to add that amount of time on. We've seen so many travesties where games are close, 3 minutes of time's added on, and it's not quite enough, when actually in the second half, 8, 9, 10, 12 minutes may have been wasted through one reason or another. And that really helped Arsenal. But the most important thing for Arsenal in that moment is they didn't get desperate. Go back and watch it again. They maintained their shape. Of course, with the substitutes, they changed it up a bit. Fabio Vieira went out to that right-hand side and I thought was excellent. Saka went on the inverted himself inside slightly, and it caused problems. They kept on finding space. And then a wonderful little drop of the shoulder and shimmy from Trossard. Shoots. Listen, there's some fortune with the deflection, but you could argue there was fortune with the 2 deflected interceptions that led the ball to KDB, which set up Palmer's goal. But you make your own luck in football. But I think when it comes down to that game, you saw an improved Arsenal, who I think are going to get better and better. I still don't think you should be starting with Timber, Rice, and Havertz together. They've got to get used to your system. So you've got 3 newbies all trying to learn the system at the same time. When it comes to Man City, listen, they maintain the ball very, very well. I haven't looked at the stats, but what they have, 60% possession? I'm going to check here, 64% of the ball. It looks about that. Is Kovacic as good as Gundogan? No. They've still got Guardiola come in. I thought it was a really quiet, poor game today from Haaland, and they didn't really create many chances, but they're still going to be a powerhouse team. But I saw an improved Arsenal. I saw a mentally strong Arsenal today. Now, they've got to replicate that in the Prem for 38 games. They've got to replicate that in the Champions League for, I don't even know how many games you play, 10, 11, 12 games you play in the Champions League. They've got to replicate that. But an excellent curtain raiser for the season. City were never going to be brilliant, but Arsenal showed us one thing today. Arsenal are going absolutely nowhere. They're going absolutely nowhere. There was a notion, there was a thought from rival fans that for some reason Arsenal were going to skulk off into the night quietly, disappear, invest £200 million additional to last year's squad and not be competitive. Not at all. There was fight in the team today. There was determination. But what we saw in that last 10 minutes was the team maintain its shape. They weren't desperately hoofing the ball upfield. They weren't shooting from stupid angles. They weren't wasting possession. They were creating openings and opportunities. If you go just a minute before the goal, There was an opportunity. I think it might have actually led to the corner that the goal came from. The ball got worked into Saka, who was in the inverted position, and then he plays it out to Fabio Vieira, but it was slightly overhit. They had a number of those moments where if the final ball was right, they were in. And that's because they maintain shape, they maintain mentality, and they maintain their composure. And it's why Man City have been so impeccable over the past 7 or 8 years. It's why Man United in our pomp were out of this world. It's why Liverpool, in that 2 or 3 year period where they were winning the Prem and the Champions League, it's not just about you can go to the end. It's about maintaining composure, concentration, not sort of the team breaking up and becoming 11 individuals, and actually you working as a unit. And that was very, very good indeed from Arsenal today. Going to go to some of your super chats here. Timber and Rice are him. Timber looks sensational going both ways. Rice looking clean, playing those one-touch forward passes. And Odegaard, such class. You know, with Odegaard, I thought Odegaard was impeccable today. Odegaard gets a lot of stick from Arsenal fans about, well, what does he do in big games? If you're an Odegaard stan, today is a day where you turn around and say, when did you ever play good in a big game? You say at Wembley against the treble winners Man City in August 2023, because he was absolutely impeccable today. He truly was. Thank you, Mark, for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace. I appreciate that. AA here says, up the Arsenal. Thank you very much, bro. Dan T says, big up, Terry. Make sure you all hit the like button. Absolutely. Get the like button smashed now. Make sure you're subscribing and that you've got bell notifications turned on as well. Now the Community Shield is a trophy, Arsenal. Trophy is trophy, duh. Listen, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and I'm not going to be petty and go, but it's only a Community Shield. Now, we know it's the lowest trophy that anyone can win this season, but I would still rather be in it and I'd still rather win it than not. At the end of the day, when Man United and Liverpool sit there as number 1 and number 2 in England for the most trophies, that includes Community Shields. When you see Real Madrid's, Barcelona's, Bayern Munich's number of total trophies, they include their nation's Super Cup. It is a trophy. It isn't the biggest one in the world, but it is a trophy, and it should be recognized as one. I wouldn't include it in a treble like Jose tried to do. I wouldn't do that, but it is a trophy, yeah. Liars, no psychological edge. Winning the Charity Shield is a curse. Look at the last winners. There are more cursed than Pogba buying a what? I don't even know what that is. Hernia OT. So listen, when I'm talking psychological edge, I've already stated in my statement, LJ, that I still think Man City are the favourites to win the Premier League. I'm talking about Arsenal going 9 games on the bounce without beating City. Now, they drew in 90 minutes, but they won on penalties. They won the game. That's a psychological edge we didn't lose. That can be worked upon and built upon psychologically for this team. I don't think Arsenal got any psychological issue playing Forest next week or Burnley or anybody at home, probably barring City. I think they're pretty much fine away from home, probably barring City, Liverpool, and I'd probably throw Man United in there a little bit. This will help them, no doubt. Trossard has to start, no questions asked. Yeah, listen, I thought that was one mistake Arteta made today. Trossard should have been starting the game. Havertz, listen, he gets into the right positions. I just don't think he's mentally ready. I don't think he's confident enough to start yet. That's my take. I want to get yours. We don't do losing at Wembley. Champions League in 2024 next. He got a very good record at Arsenal. Arsenal have at Wembley, to be fair. Terry, Arsenal fans better calm down if they celebrate this trophy like crazy and went over there. It's a Community Shield curse. Liverpool won it last year. Look, the thing is, I understand where you're coming from. Some Arsenal fans will look stupid who said, like, don't celebrate winning the League Cup. They'll probably celebrate winning this. They'll get clipped up. But I think that's half the point. I think they just want to be clipped up and laughed at. I'm not going to return the favor and act like it's not a good win. I'm just, again, too grown for that, man. Too grown. Trossard and Timber looks excellent. You've got to think Timber's playing inverted left fullback. Like, how far out of position is that for what you would stereotypically look at him as? Excellent, no doubt. Even game to the end with 11 players playing for the first time. I saw fear in City during the penalty kicks because of Arsenal's doing. Yeah, I thought it was pretty even game. And I think that Arsenal can take some real positives from that psychologically. Like City won't be shook by this. When I say psychological edge, I don't think City are going to be sitting there just going, oh God, Arsenal might beat us to the title this year. City will have so much belief in themselves. This is more about Arsenal growing from this position. City are overrated and finished without Gundogan. Now that's too far, Levy. That's too far. That's too far. That's mad.